Johnson. I am at the Winning Mindset program. What I have to say for this program is that it was top the food.
So the legendary experience
It was very, very impactful and very
it was nice when I had a nice time.
I had a good time. I connected very good. And the other speakers, amazing.
Anthony Robbins said that goal setting is the key to converting whatever is invisible into visible. What that simply means is that if you don't set goals, you are going to be invisible.
Yeah.
And there are so many of you here today. Your goals are lofty, your goals are beautiful, but they are never real. They are not real not because they cannot be real. They are not real because they were never set. Until you set them, you will hit them. It is goals that validate action. It is goals that give meaning to actions.
In your career, it doesn't always reflect in an increase in size. So the first thing you want to note about growth is that growth is not increase in size. Growth is an improvement in structure. You want to write that down, very key. Anything that will be sustained, anything with the potential for sustenance, anything that is worth investing in must have a structure. Anything that you are doing that lacks structure is suicidal. Now, if everything that is worth doing must have a structure, if everything that is worth doing must have a form of structure, then I'm trying to say to you that for that thing to grow, your structure must improve. The size of that thing may not increase, but the structure of that thing must be improved. So, in summary, write this in capital letter. Growth is enhanced structure. Number two, growth is a type of change. What I'm trying to say to you is that for anything to grow, it must change. If you are anti-change, you can never grow. If you repel change, you can never grow. If you are afraid to confront change, you can never grow. For anything to grow, you must embrace change. But change is not growth. So that something is changing does not mean that it is growing. But for anything to have growth, it must change. So change is absolutely inevitable when you talk of growth. If you truly want to grow, you must change. But that you are changing does not mean that you are growing. Change is a requirement for growth. It's like progress. To make any kind of progress, you must move. You can't make progress without moving. But that you are moving does not mean you are making progress. In the same light, to have any kind of growth, you must change. But that you are changing doesn't mean that you are growing. Number three, growth is a proof of life. Anything that has life should grow. So I'm saying to you, any part of your life that is not growing is a threat to every you. What I'm trying to say is that nobody is created to be one thing. The moment that we were born many things. So the moment you came out of your mother's womb, you were a child. Some of you are brothers, you are sisters.
I wore blue today. Now I know this does not in any way change the price of rice in the market. But let me land now. Blue is the color of love. Okay, I think I'll rephrase that. Blue is my color of love. Maybe because it is my favorite color, my favorite person's favorite color, or the color that represents the place that I call home and the people that I call family. Blue changed my life. Okay, that sounded so dramatic, but really, it did. The vision of one intentional man is now changing the lives of tens of thousands of young people like myself, raising winners and kings in all spheres of life. Keyword, intentional. The results you see in my life today show exactly what will happen when you intentionally harness the power of the mind. This is what Blue represents. My name is Effie Johnson and I am a product of the winning mindset. I am also kind of like Papa's favorite child. Alright, I'm just kidding. Or am I? Blue is home. Welcome to the winning mindset. Welcome home.
Define your identity. You know why it's important to define your identity? Because if you are not careful, once you go into the market with a wrong identity of who you are, anything that you see that seems to make you feel uncomfortable, you want to define yourself based on the image of that person or based on the identity of that person. And that's why it's important to define your own identity. Define your identity with regards to your proposition. What is the functional benefit of doing anything with you?
You must embrace change. For anything to grow, you must embrace change. But change is not growth. So that something is changing does not mean that it is growing. You see, that something is changing does not mean that it has growth. But for anything to have growth, it must change. So change is absolutely inevitable when you talk of growth. If you truly want to grow, you must change. But that you are changing does not mean that you are growing. But change is a form of growth. Change is a requirement for growth. To make any kind of progress, you must move. You can't make progress without moving. But that you are moving does not mean you are making progress. In same light, to have any kind of growth, you must change. But that you are changing doesn't mean that you are growing. But you must embrace the science and the dynamics of change if you truly want to grow. Growth is a proof of life. Growth is a proof of life. Anything that has life should grow. That anything worth investing your time in, anything at all that is worth investing your time in, must have a structure. Because you can't grow without a structure. The essence of growth is built into the structure of everything worth doing and everything worth becoming. Anything that is worth doing and anything that is worth becoming must have a structure, because structure is a prerequisite for any kind of growth. You cannot establish any form of growth without a structure.
Understand this day. Now, so I've explained what the difference between a career and a job is, but there are other concepts that come to mind when we talk about the career, which I also want to be able to explain. So there is work. Now, work is different from a job, and this is, I'm saying this particularly to those who don't have don't have a job, those who are unemployed, those who are fresh graduates out of school, or those who lost their jobs, in the pandemic, or you are unemployed to a degree. And I want to explain this for these people to understand. So I get a lot of people who tell me, Bankole, there are no jobs out there. Even with COVID-19, it's a lot worse. The National Bureau of Statistics recently published, the unemployment rate in our country, Nigeria. And I strongly believe that it was understated. They said the unemployment rate is 27.1%. The last time that measurement was done was in the third quarter of 2018, and then it was 23.1%. Now it is 27.1%. Now, I do believe that that's understated. I strongly believe that it's somewhere between 33 and 35%, because job sites today are getting 5 times more hits, right, in COVID than they were before COVID. So if 5 times the number of people are visiting job sites, then it tells you that quite a number of people are looking for work. Now, whilst they may not seemingly be jobs, and I do believe that there are jobs, and I'll explain that, because there are jobs, it's just that we don't have the people with the skill for the jobs that exist. So people need to understand that with the adjustment that has happened with COVID and with the future of work, there are certain competencies that are necessary for you to begin to develop so that you can be adequately prepared for the opportunities for work that exist today. So people are recruiting. You know, I know someone who's been trying to recruit for a particular role for going to 7 months now. Now, you say there are no jobs. There is a job. But the kind of skill that he's looking for, he hasn't found. So people need to begin to learn, go and read and research about the future of work and the competencies that are necessary for you to excel in these times so that you can upskill and be adequately prepared for the opportunities. So whilst I do understand that the amount of jobs available, right, are not enough when we compare them with the number of graduates that universities are churning out. So there is that mismatch. However, I do believe that there is work, right? There might not be jobs, but there is work. There's a distinction, right? Like I said, a job is a short-term engagement. So it's a formal engagement you go into for which the value you bring, you are paid a salary for that. That's a job. Work is different. Work is a problem that is waiting for somebody to pick it up. Did you hear what I said? Work is a problem that is waiting. It exists. It's waiting for somebody to pick it up and find a viable solution to solve it. Now, when that solution is found, that solution can be traded as value in exchange for money. So there is more than enough work. In fact, there is more than enough work, and I dare say, in comparison to the number of unemployed people. However, a lot of unemployed people are looking for jobs. And I do hope that you guys are getting what I'm saying. How do I know that there is work? The more problems we have in society, the more work that is required to fix the problems. And
any part of your life that is not growing is a threat to every you. What I'm trying to say is that nobody is created to be one thing. The moment that we were born many things. So the moment you came out of your mother's womb, you were a child. Some of you are brothers, you are sisters, you are cousins, you are nieces, you are nephew. As you keep growing, you become a friend, you become an enemy, you become a colleague, you become an artist. So everyone is more than one thing. The problem that we have sometimes is that we focus our energy so much on becoming good at only one thing, and then we are bad at everything else. But if you are lacking growth in one aspect of your life, that aspect of your life becomes a threat to every other aspect of your life. Anything in your life that is worth investing in, that is not growing, that aspect of your life becomes a threat to other aspects of your life.
I'm going to give you something I have not taught this year yet. Something that I want followers of Elisha Maman to really get value from. And that is the digital land grab. All right, so make your notes there, write it there. The digital land grab. How to become a king in your industry. How to become a king in your industry. I'm going to teach you, first of all, how to build your movement online, okay? Because I think people who are following a person like Elisha Maman, definitely you have a kingly mindset. You want to rule your world. You have to understand how platforms work, okay? So there are 3 types of platforms, all right? 3 types of platforms. There is the rented platform and there's the hybrid platform, okay? So let's put it the other way around now. Rented, owned, and hybrid, okay? Rented platform, owned platform, and hybrid platform. What is rented platform? We have a saying in online marketing: do not build your house on rented land. I'll say it again. Do not build your house on rented land, okay? Social media is rented land. Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, they are all rented land. You do not build your house there, but they can be very useful, all right? You as a king in your industry, and when I say king, I'm talking to both men and women, okay? I'm not being gender sensitive to the gender specific, I mean, to the term here, okay? Jesus told Peter, all right, I will make you a fisher of men. That was very interesting because Jesus was looking for a way to figure out, how do I get this guy on board with the mission? And so he figured Peter is a fisherman, was a fisherman. And he said, let me speak to him in the language of his industry. And he said, I will make you a fisher of men. And that will make you think. That would make you think, how do you catch fish? All right. You use a fishing hook, and you bring them over into your boat. And so what I'm teaching you today is how to be a fisher of men. Okay. Bring them into your doctrine, into your movement, into your message, into your business, using your knowledge of platforms. Okay. So rented platforms are like a marketplace. I don't know if any of you have ever lived in a place like Onitsha or Aba, or I'm just saying because of the market, the main markets there, or even in Lagos, right? You go to like the Yaba markets, those are the ones I've been to, right? You see all these Igbo traders, where they'll be pulling you, hey, sister, my color, come, that's how the marketplace works. Your goal on social media is to recruit as many people as possible as are interested in your message over to a land that you own and control. So you don't build your entire empire on social media or on Facebook. Why? Because you do not control the rules of that game. If Mark Zuckerberg one day decides that you have to now pay to reach your followers, your business is over. And that has happened to a lot of other businesses, okay? So do not build your house on rented land. You have to come on social media and siphon those people that are interested in your message over to a platform that you own and control, which is what? Your email list. That's what I call your owned platform, okay? Your owned platform. The email is the best social network. And that's because if Aweber, for example, which is an email list provider, shuts you down, you can export your list over to another email service provider. If MailChimp shuts you down, you can export your list to another service provider and keep on emailing them. If Facebook shuts you down, you cannot take your followers away with you. So while you're on social media and you have followers, your goal is to keep on offloading them.
Define your identity. You know why it's important to define your identity? Because if you are not careful, once you go into the market with a wrong identity of who you are, anything that you see that seems to make you feel uncomfortable, you want to define yourself based on the image of that person or based on the identity of that person. And that's why it's important to define your own identity. Define your identity with regards to your proposition. What is the functional benefit of doing anything with you?
Anthony Robbins said that goal setting is the key to converting whatever is invisible into visible. What that simply means is that if you don't set goals, you are going to be invisible.
Yeah.
And there are so many of you here today. Your goals are lofty, your goals are beautiful, but they are never real. They are not real, not because they cannot be real. They are not real because they were never set. Until you set them, you will hit them. It is goals that validate action. It is goals that give meaning to actions.
Hello and good morning, everyone. We are now live. This is the November 2020 edition of The Winning Mindset with Elisha Mammon. We're in for another amazing session. Now, if you're here and you're watching me, I'd love you to comment in the comment section where you're watching from. Let's meet you, please. So where are you watching from? I can see about 17 of us online right now. David Obina, you're welcome. You're all welcome. We're really excited to have you here today. All right, so for the first session, we'll be having the team lead of the Winning Mindset in person of Fee Stevens Michael. We're taking the first session and then other sessions will follow after. But for now, we're here and want to know the people that are here with us, those that are watching with us, and where you're watching from. Danny, welcome, watching from Zaria. Hosea from Kaduna, you're welcome. It's really good to have you guys here with us. Welcome, welcome. There's David Obina from Port Harcourt. You are welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you. You're welcome. Now, if you know anybody that should be here that is not here yet, please share the link with them and so they could join you online. This is going to be an amazing session. You don't want anyone to miss it. Keep the comments coming in. Let's know where you're watching from and let's know that you're ready to receive this afternoon. All right, so we're going to learn from the last session and then Ene from Zaria, you are welcome. Thank you all.
The person who has the database is the one who has the power, okay? The person with the database is the one who has the power, all right? All right, so let's move on now to how to offload people from rented platforms like Facebook and Instagram over to your own platform, which is your email list and maybe your Telegram and co. Okay, there is one thing everybody here needs to master. Guys, get it. Don't be sleeping. Yeah, you need to get this. There is one thing that every single king must master on social media: Facebook advertising. Facebook advertising. We talk about this all the time. That a person who is doing business without advertising is like a person who is what? Winking in the dark. You know what you're doing, but nobody else does. You've got to learn to advertise on Facebook. So when you can learn to, and let me tell you the power of Facebook advertising. You can target people with specificity. So you can target people in Lagos between the ages of 19 to 25 who are interested in tailoring or fashion or shoes or bags. You can target based on gender, sometimes even based on the kind of work that they do, sometimes even based on their income level. That is how powerful Facebook is. There's something called the Facebook Blueprint program. I don't know why it hasn't gotten much notoriety, though I've been talking about it for a while, but it's a program that was created by Facebook, all right, to help you learn how to create Facebook ads, and it's totally free. So, I mean, I know that there are other courses out there on Facebook ads, which you can buy. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you're just starting, you don't have money to start yet, you can go and enroll for free in the Facebook Blueprint program. Make sure that you always have a notoriety budget. Listen, guys. This principle will separate you from those who have been toiling on the streets of social media for 10 years with slow and steady growth versus a person who just comes to the industry and takes it by storm. And in no distant time, they have grown a large audience, okay? And that is because I always had a notoriety budget, okay? What is a notoriety budget? From whatever your income is every month, okay? So set aside an amount of money, part of your income every single month, that should go into paid advertising for more people to know you. Listen, guys. Kings are territorial, all right? You may have seen my post where I talk about the average African is tribal in nature. Now, people confuse the word tribal with tribalistic. That they're not the same thing. They're similar words, but they're not the same thing. Tribalistic is the bad part. Tribalistic is where you discriminate against other people based on their tribe. That's not what I'm saying. I said tribal, okay? Tribal means when you are more engaged with the activities of a tribe without much desire to step outside of the tribe and engage with people of other tribes. They're two different things. Tribal is not, but you're not being bad to other people. Tribal means you're just engrossed with your tribe. Tribalistic is where you are harmful or discriminatory to people of other tribes. So they're two different things. So I said the average African is tribal in nature, but the average European is territorial in nature. I'll say it again. The average African is tribal in nature. We work in groups, people we're familiar with. But the average European is territorial. They go forward, they explore from Europe and all those other countries. they came towards Africa. Ensure that you have the territorial mindset. Don't just be the local champion of your industry. I've always been madly territorial. I want people in Uganda to know me. I want people in Kenya to know me. I want the South Africans to know me. I want the Europeans to know me. I want the Brazilians to know me. I want the Americans to know me. Before I leave the earth, I want everyone to know me. And
any part of your life that is not growing is a threat to every you. What I'm trying to say is that nobody is created to be one thing. The moment that we were born many things. So the moment you came out of your mother's womb, you were a child. Some of you are brothers, you are sisters, you are cousins, you are nieces, you are nephew. As you keep growing, you become a friend, you become an enemy, you become a colleague, you become an artist. So everyone is more than one thing. The problem that we have sometimes is that we focus our energy so much on becoming good at only one thing, and then we are bad at everything else. But if you are lacking growth in one aspect of your life, that aspect of your life becomes a threat to every other aspect of your life. Anything in your life that is worth investing in, that is not growing, that aspect of your life becomes a threat to other aspects of your life. You must embrace change. For anything to grow, you must embrace change. But change is not growth. So that something is changing does not mean that it is growing. You see, that something is changing does not mean that it has growth. But for anything to have growth, it must change. So change is absolutely inevitable when you talk of growth. If you truly want to grow, you must change. But that you are changing does not mean that you are growing. But change is a form of growth. Change is a requirement for growth. To make any kind of progress, you must move. You can't make progress without moving. But that you are moving does not mean you are making progress. In same light, to have any kind of growth, you must change. But that you are changing doesn't mean that you are growing. But you must embrace the science and the dynamics of change if you truly want to grow. Growth is a proof of life. Growth is a proof of life. Anything that has life should grow. That anything worth investing your time in, anything at all that is worth investing your time in, must have a structure. Because you can't grow without a structure. The essence of growth is built into the structure of everything worth doing and everything worth becoming. Anything that is worth doing and anything that is worth becoming must have a structure, because structure is a prerequisite for any kind of growth. You cannot establish any form of growth without a structure.
Hello everyone, good morning, and once again you're very much welcome to the November edition of The Winning Mindset. Now this is the last edition for this year. This is the last edition of The Winning Mindset for this year, and you are very, very much welcome. I hope you're as excited as I am to be here. I can see quite a number of you live already. I can see that you've been getting value from the previous sessions, and today is another one of such days. First of all, before I get started, I just want to say that it's been a great year so far. I know several things have come up at one point or the other, but the year itself has been a good one. And in the midst of everything, that that has happened, everything that everything that has happened, okay, in the midst of everything that has happened, it's important you keep that optimistic mindset. You keep that optimism going as much as possible. So very quickly this morning, before we go into the main session, the one of very quickly before we go into the main session, the session with Miss. All right, so all right, am I still live? So very quickly before we go into the main session, okay, I'll just take you through something that is practically my journey, my own story, something that has helped me to move from one level to the other. See, listen to me, right? There are some things that I know now. There are some things that I do now. There are some things that I can do now that for some reason I did not even think possible 3 years ago. Are you with me? There's some things that I did not even think was possible 3 years ago. And I'm saying this because for some reason, many of us are at a point in time when you see some certain people doing some certain things, and because they have already gotten to that point, you feel insufficient, you feel incapable, you feel as though you are not able to meet up, you're not able to measure up, you feel as though it is relatively late for you. But that is not even the case. See, listen to me. There is this Igbo proverb. I think I got to see it on Google. I don't know how to say it in Igbo, but the English meaning is anytime you wake up is your own morning. How many of you have heard that before? If you have heard it, just write it that in the comment box. Anytime I wake up is my morning. Write that in the comment box. Anytime I wake up is my morning. And this is because, see, the fact that you are just waking up does not mean you do not have the same opportunity to do the same things that can put you in the position where you're seeing other people get to. For me, my waking up started 3 years ago, 2017. Okay, what happened was I came to Kaduna. I remember, you know, I checked my NYSC posting and I saw that I've been posted to Kaduna State. I was like, what? Of all states, I had applied for Lagos, for Abuja, for Akwa Ibom, and just to complete the options, just in case those other ones did not work, or because I had to select one state in North, I chose Kaduna State, just to complete the options. And then I found out that I was going to be posted to Kaduna. I was devastated. I was like, my village people have won. That was my story. But then I had to come to Kaduna because of my NYSC. I had to get to that point where I can go to a place I have never been to before. I've never been to northern Nigeria before. And you know, if you're in the south, right? I'm based in River State, Port Harcourt, right? If you're in the south, the idea of the north you have is that everybody there is killing themselves. That was the idea. In fact, it was around the time when the whole crisis, Boko Haram and everything was at its peak. It was terrible. So every time we are seeing a news coming from northern Nigeria, it is that this house has burnt, they burnt this village, everybody here is dead and things like that. And that was the idea I had. So I was going to the north with the perspective that there is nothing good. You know that nothing good can come out from this place. There's nothing good that can come out. So I had that in mind when I was going. And I had every single plan to redeploy, okay? But then I had to come to a point where I was able to stay at a place I've not been before and look for the good in that place. Now, why I'm starting with this is because you have to understand that even at your current level, even at the place where you are right now in your life, your current resources, your current relationships, there is good still available. There is good still available. It's just that the good that is available is not always obvious. The good that is available is not always obvious. Listen to me, there is good available, but the good that is available is not always obvious. That means it is now required for a king to search out the matter. Any good that is concealed, it is important that as a king or as someone that is getting to a point of rulership over his own life. See, being a king starts from being a king of your life. Being a king of your life means you are able to get to a point where you are diligent enough to search out the matters of your life. Before you search out the matters of a territory, of a people, right? You have to get to that point where you can search out the matters of your life. And I'll tell you how to do that. Just follow me step by step. You have to get to that point where you can do what? Search out the matters of your life. Because it is the honor of the Lord to conceal a matter, but it is the honor of kings to do what? To search it out. Are you following me? Now, one thing that happened for me when I stayed in Kaduna, I remember we were in camp for 3 weeks, okay? We were in camp for 3 weeks, all right? And after camp, during camp, I met someone, my platoon leader, Messiah. And I remember one day, Messiah told me that he called me, Fee, how are you? See, there's this program we have to go to. There's this man you have to listen to, this, that. And I was like, oh, awesome program, this, that. I've always loved learning, actually, but I learn from YouTube a lot, right from time. So I watch YouTube videos, I watch videos about the things I want to learn about. And the talk was sweet. When he was telling me, and we have to go for this, is important, this man is fire, this, that. It was interesting until he said, I was like, okay, let's go. Is this Saturday? Let's go. It was not like it is 2-5. I was like, what? How will I pay money to go and listen to someone talk? That was a mindset. See, this is not far. This is 2017. I'm being very sincere with you. As at 2017, I found it like a taboo to pay 2,500 naira to go and listen to another person talk. It did not mean, see, I was not a foolish person. I was not someone that did not have sense. I had a level of sense, but a mindset was there that was always limiting me. That mindset of being able to pay an amount to listen to another person talk. So I was like, well, 2.5, how am I going to pay 2.5? You know why? Once you call money for me, those days, I convert that money immediately to data. If you call 2.5 for me, do you know what I convert it to? I convert it to how many gig I can do with 2.5 and how many people's videos I can watch. Why use 2.5 to listen to one man when I can use 2.5 and do like 5 gig subscription and then listen to several people on YouTube? Why should I listen to one man? Why should I do it? But I am glad I decided to take that offer. So I paid 2.5 for that particular session. And I remember we went together for the program in the office. And as I sat down to listen, I was like, what? Where is this person from? You know, when you're listening to someone talk and I think the word is spellbound. You're like, how is this person able to speak this way? How is this person able to talk this way? How is this person able to command this level of attention in a room? Now, one thing I do is I don't just listen to people. I don't hear what you say. I hear what you say. I listen to how you say it. I watch how you, like, I observe you totally. If you're talking to me, I don't just listen to what you're saying. I listen to anything that can be listened to around you. Your movements, your environment, your commands, the things you're able to do. I listen to everything. So I was like, what is this? I know what happened. I decided that, see, I have to learn how to speak like this man. What's his name again? They were like, you've not heard of Elisha Mama, this, that. He's my mentor today, right? But I was like, I need to learn how to speak like this man. I need to learn how to communicate like this man. I need to learn how to express myself the way this man. And see, this is something that just follow me. This is a place that many of you are right now. You are the place where you've gone to an event or you've seen the way someone writes, you've seen the way someone does this or does that, and you're like, this is good. And it's not a bad thing. See, it's not bad to want something good that someone else has. Listen to me. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing to follow someone as the person follows Christ. It's not a bad thing to want a future, a characteristic, a good expression, a good fruit of someone. It's not bad at all. So as much as we are trying our best to be original, as much as it is important to be unique, as much as it's important to look inside of you and get out the internal expression, it is not bad to want something good from someone. Do you understand? So if you see someone that is very good in writing, it is okay to honor the person. It is okay to want that ability to express yourself in words. If you see someone that is very good in editing videos, it's okay to say, wow, this person is awesome. I would love to one day be able to edit videos like that. It's fine. But this is a story, it's a journey, it's my story. I'm telling my story right now, but follow me. So that was what I wanted. And I remember I was like, okay, how do we meet him? And Messiah said, let's go to his house. And he invited us to his house, and we came, and I sat down and I was listening. And I told him, I want to learn how to speak like you. I want to learn how to speak like you. That's what I told him. And he was like, instead of teaching you how to speak, I will teach you how to live. And then you will speak from your life. That's the statement that statement started a journey that I cannot even start to describe. Do you hear that? Instead of teaching you how to speak, I will teach you how to live, and you will what? Speak from your life. See, let me tell you a cheat code. This is the easiest way to become a great speaker. The easiest way. The easiest way is not reading of books and all those things. That is a good thing. That is an advantageous thing. I do it a lot. But the easiest way to become an amazing speaker is to live a life and speak from your life. So can you see how I'm just talking? Why am I talking the way I'm talking? Because I am saying things that happen in real life. I've not quoted anybody yet. I will, and that's great. I've not quoted any book I've read. That doesn't mean I'm not reading. Don't be confused. That doesn't mean I'm not reading. I'm reading a lot. But it's easier to say it is good to read when I say I am reading, when I can tell you my life. So for some of you, for most of you that want to become like people, to become as good as some people, what you need to do is to get to that point where you are able to discern the life of the person. What is the life? Life is measured in what? Time. That means, how does this person spend his time? How does this person relate with his family? How does this person relate with his God? How does this person relate with principles? How does this person spend his time? Because that is how you're able to know the life that the person lives. And tell you the truth, if you can get the life of a person, you are able to replicate the results, because the results come from the inside. Are we getting value so far? If you're getting value so far, go ahead and write value in the comment box. Let me know you're getting value. Are we getting value so far? Write value. Let me know you're getting value. So what you should do, right? When you notice something that is good in someone, go to that point where you can get some certain parts of the person's life and imbibe it in yourself. It is that life that produces the same result. So instead of rushing to want to speak, be diligent in living a life that you can easily talk from. But this is not even my point. I'm taking you through a journey. I will enjoy my story so far. So he told me that, and my mentorship journey started to an extent. I said to an extent because there are some other things. All right. So I remember that, okay, I didn't really understand it at that time. At that time, it was like, what's this one saying? I said, I want to learn how to be a powerful speaker. I want to learn how to climb the stage, and everybody's like, wow. You're telling me to speak from life and this. I understand it better now. Now, one thing I have learned from my relationship with my mentor over the last 3 years, one major thing I've come to learn, not just from that relationship, but from being able to interact with people, with resources, from being able to interact with several cadres of people, one thing I've come to learn is that all men are made. All men are made. Write that down. All men are made. Listen to me. If you are going to be a man, and by the way, hope you know that the fact that you're alive does not mean you're living. The fact that you're a male does not mean you're a man. For example, there are some characteristics that are scattered all around, but I always like taking more from scriptures. Something like men ought always to pray. Now, that's a characteristic of what? Of a man. I wouldn't go into that right now. But there are some things that have been laid out that if you're a man, you should do things. You should do this or you should do that. There are some things that have been laid out for kings. If you go to the book of Proverbs, there's a part where the mother of King Lemuel was advising him, and he said something. He said that it is not for kings to drink strong wine. She did not say strong wine is not good, though. She did not say it's evil. She did not say it will lead you to hell. What she said was that if you are a king, it is not for kings to drink strong wine. Why? Because it affects your judgment. So that particular statement does not affect everybody. It affects kings. So if you tell yourself that I am a king, what do? You behave in a way kings should behave. You do the things that kings should do. So if you are going to be a man, all men are made. So there's a making process that is involved for every man, for every king. You know, every a child, even though it's the hair, right, is subjected to a period of making until he gets to that point where he has learned enough to be given the estate of his father. All men are made. All men are made. Now, I got to identify some things that are involved in the making of a man. And this is my major point for today. Some things that are involved, if you are going to be made, there are some certain characteristics, there are some certain factors that must be put into place. Because today we are learning how to earn a fee from what to do for free. But truthfully, right, you can only earn that fee from what you are able to do. And it is difficult to do who you are not. Are you following me? It is difficult to do who you're not. Let me give you an example. I studied human physiology in the university, right? Although people still argue that with me, they say, you see, me, you didn't study computer science, this, that. I did not study computer science, guys. I studied human physiology. I was in medical school for the 3 years of my university education. So I studied human physiology, not computer science. Don't argue my education with me. All right. But there's something that I got to know. And that thing I got to know is that if you are in a school like a medical school, right, you are going to be subjected to 5 to 6 years of education, of intensive training. And at the end of that training period, people will call you a what? What would they call you? Write that down for me. What would they call you? A doctor, right? Why? Why are they calling you a doctor? They're calling you a doctor because the body of knowledge you exposed yourself to for 5, 6 years of your life is a body of knowledge that brings you towards medicine. So if you go to a theater for a surgery, for example, it is easy for you to maneuver your way and bring someone that is supposed to die back to life because of your medical skill. Why? Because you have become a doctor. Your becoming is what makes your doing easy. You can be an excellent engineer. You can be an engineer with a first class, a mechanical engineer, very good. Julius Baker is looking for you. They're on top of your matter. Now them they chase you. Okay? But then if they bring you to that theater, you will be clueless and you can send someone to an early grave. Why? Because it is difficult to do who you are not. It is difficult to do who you're not. So if you go to a theater, even if you put on, and that's what some of you are doing, some of you are putting on surgical gloves. You're wearing the gloves, you're putting on the apparel, you're putting on white lab coats, you're tying that stuff on your head, but you're an engineer. You're an engineer trying to package yourself. We call it branding. You're an engineer, you're trying to brand yourself so you can go and do the work of a doctor. But you are not a doctor. So you're killing people. You have to become before you can do. You have to become who you have to become a person that can earn a fee from what you're doing for free. Because you cannot do for free who you are not. Are you following? You cannot do for free who you are not. If you do for free who you are not, you are going to kill people. So the branding, the coveralls can be amazing. It can be well ironed. In fact, you can take amazing pictures with it. But that does not make you who you're not. You become a person by a system, a period of formation. There is a period of formation that makes you a man. All men are made, right? A period of formation makes you that man, and it is that man that has been made that does something and earns from it. So what are the things that makes you? Now, over time, I have tried to study this concept. I've tried to ask myself questions like, why is it that two people, okay, can be from the same place, can get exposed to the same person at the same time, and one will be better than the other? Why is it that two people can be exposed to the same book, can read the same book for the same amount of time, and one will be better than other? Why is it that two people can be under the same authority, can be in the same environment, can be working in the same workplace, and at the end of 5 years, one is far better than the other? Why is it? Why is it? And I found out that the major reason is the making process. Now, I'll be concluding this in very soon. I have just about 8 minutes, and then we'll be having an amazing session from Mr. Nish Shoyinka to tell us how to earn a fee from what you do for free. Okay, next 8 minutes we'll be having him. Now, this is it. To be made, you have to get to a point where there is a system of control around you. I will explain. Now, in my 300 level, was it 300? Yes. In my 300 level, first semester, there's something they taught us about the process, okay, of the formation of it. It was under the reproductive system, right? But they were teaching us about, it's called embryology in anatomy. Embryology, how an embryo is formed inside of the body. Embryology. Now, one thing that they got to let us know is that inside of the body, right, the child is connected to the mother by a system called the umbilical cord. The umbilical cord, some of you have heard of it in passing, but what the umbilical cord does basically is that it creates a system of transfer, a system of exchange between the mother and the baby. So the mother can send processed food, digested food, okay, to the baby, and then there's that transfer to and fro through the cord. All right. So while you're in the womb, everything concerning your feeding, everything concerning your growth depends on what? Your mother. So if your mother is not, that's why they say a pregnant mother should eat very well. Why? Because if you're not eating well, you are not just affecting yourself, you're affecting your child. Your child eats from you in the womb. Now, as soon as birth happens, what happens? As soon as there is birth, the umbilical cord is cut off. So there is still a system of transfer that automatically kicks in. That is using breast milk. That's how the child is fed. And the child can only grow as much as the feeding. The child, listen, a child can only grow as much as he or she is being fed. So if there's an issue with the feeding process in the womb, that child can die. If there's an issue with the feeding process as a baby, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, I think about 6 months or so, that's when most mothers start weaning the baby, right? If there's an issue with the feeding process around that time, that child can die. Then after that, it goes to a third level of feeding. All of you have passed through this process. Is there anybody here that didn't take breast milk? Sometimes I try to imagine how I was back then. Tiny, small, and the rest. Well, let me not think about it. So yeah, so we've gone through this process. So after that system is stopped, the next system comes in. You start taking some processed food, maybe still milk, maybe still liquid stuff. You do not yet have teeth and ability to chew for yourself. So they give you things that are granulated, things that are in forms like pap, things like that. But you're still eating. You're beginning to eat higher levels of food. And as usual, your growth depends on what you're eating. If someone is malnourished when he's small, that person's growth can be stunted for life. So if you're not eating well when you're little, if they're not feeding you well, what happens? Your growth is affected. Your growth is always proportional to what you are eating and your ability to process it. That's another story. So you grow to the next level and you get to a point where you're beginning to chew rice. You will see that same baby that could not take anything apart from breast milk. At some point, you get to 2 years, 3 years. Some of you from, I don't know if there's anybody that started taking about from 1 year. But that same child, 5 years old, you see the person rolling a bar, throwing it and catching it, and putting it in soup and taking heavy duty food. That same child. Why? Because the system of feeding has increased. And the growth always depends on what you are eating. So I don't know why you get to a point where you think that you can grow without taking careful note of what you're eating. Who is deceiving you? The intensity and the frequency of your feeding will always affect your growth, will always affect your making process. Men are made by what they take in. So what are the ways by which you can take in things? Number one, the things you hear. Are you following? Now, this is the making process. We're going practical. Men are made by what they take in. You grow by what you eat. You grow by what you eat. Someone should write that down for me. You grow always by what you eat. That's why in the medical field, you can say someone is deficient in calcium. It's not like the person is not eating. Someone can be eating very well, but because the things you're eating doesn't have calcium, you can be good in every other thing and deficient in calcium. That deficiency in calcium would affect your teeth, to affect your hair, it will affect the things that needs calcium to grow. That is why you can be good in everything, but just your finances is having issues. Why? The things you have been eating have every other thing you want to think of, but you have ignored a part that is also important. You are made by what you're eating. You grow by what you eat. So at first, your mother is responsible for your feeding. At another point, your umbilical cord is responsible for your feeding. But you will get to that point in life where it depends on you if you are going to grow or not. And most of you are there right now. If you are going to grow or not, it depends on you. It depends on your ability to get to that point where you take responsibility of your life. You know that your life is your business, and you tell yourself that because I am alive, I am going to do everything within my power to grow. I'm not going to waste God's grace in my life. I'm not going to waste the resources that are around me. I know they're not so much, but I know that within me lies the ability to convert the little that I have to be faithful in little so I can be faithful in much. Within me lies that ability to use the resources, relationship, the time, the energy that I have to convert what is little into what is much. This was the point I got to in 2018. I started learning aggressively. I started trying to be the best. I told myself that if personal development is truly responsible for the growth of men, I'm going to prove it in my life. If it is true that you can personally develop yourself to a great height, to a level of success, I will make it happen for myself. If it's a lie, I'll prove it. If it's true that you can read, grow, have relationships, invest in yourself, become better until you be the best, I will prove it with my life. I am not waiting for someone to tell me to do it. I have said to myself that no matter what happens, I am going to prove that it is possible for mentorship, for relationships, for personal development to make you someone of great repute. That is why I can be consistent. That's why I can learn aggressively. That's why I can stay up at night when people are sleeping. That's why I can put in more pressure on myself than any other person can. See, put more pressure on yourself than any other person will. If you're waiting for people to put pressure on you and you start saying, hey, these people, they're just tensioning us, they're just giving me pressure, this, that. You want to grow with that pressure? How? What are you eating? So number one, I'm out of time. Number one, what you hear. The things you're hearing, control these things. Control what you're hearing. Control the things that goes through your ears. You can go ahead and start listening to things that are valuable, podcasts that are great. Go to environments that the things that are told you, okay, are things that can help you grow. See, and the issue is that some of you have already been exposed to environments that are negative, that nobody is telling you something great. Everybody's telling you how small you can become. And that is fine. But at this point, you have gotten to a point where you can now choose what to eat. There's food everywhere, but you have gotten to that point where you can choose what to eat. So what are you choosing? What are you choosing? What are you hearing, number one? So number one is what you hear. Choose what you hear. That's one way men are made. Men are made by what they're hearing. Men are made by, number one, what you're hearing. Someone should write that down for me. Number one, what you hear. That's the first way you're made. Now, the issue with what you hear is that it is not immediate. The result is not immediate. You know, if there's a hot stuff, if let me say this is a phone pouch, right? If this thing is hot and I touch it, I will remove my hand immediately. Why? The result is immediate. But what you hear does not give you an immediate result. So sometimes you don't know you are being made, but you are being made, and that's the most dangerous change. The most dangerous change is the type that is not announced, the type that you're not seeing happening immediately, because it's more long term. Men are made by what they hear. So what are you hearing? How can you tell yourself that for the next, because I attended the winning mindset in November, for the next 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 month, I am going to control everything that my ear is exposed to. Everything. So in the morning, I wake up and I go to SoundCloud and I look for a podcast that can add value to me, and I listen to it on purpose. I go to YouTube, I look for Elisha Maman's channel, I listen to those videos on purpose. I listen to the things that help me grow on purpose. What you hear. The second thing that makes men is what you see. What you see. What do you expose your eyes to? That's why when I talk about learning without, by the way, if you follow me on Instagram, my handle is @FeedSteven, right? There's a place I talk about how to learn from social media. Do you know why? Most of us are exposed to social media more than half of more than half of the time that our eyes are open. So you have to be able to know how to learn from there. What you see is important. What are the people you're following? What are the things you're exposing your eyes to? What you see is important. I hope we're following. So what you hear, what you see, the relationships you keep, that's the next thing that makes you. Just as iron sharpens iron, that is how a man's character is sharpened by the countenance of his friend. Relationships are this third thing. Follow me. The third thing that makes you is what? Relationships. So I've talked about what you hear. I've talked about what you see. Third one is the circle you keep. This is how you're made. You cannot earn a fee from what you do for free if you are not made, because you cannot do who you're not. I'm out of time. The circle you keep. I'm out of time. So, did we get value from this session? Are we ready to receive from the next person? Are we ready? Did we get value from this session? If you got value, go ahead and write value in the comment box. If you got value from this session, go ahead and write value in the comment box. As you join me as I welcome to, am I still live? Can you still hear me? Can you still hear me? Am I still live? I don't think I'm seeing myself on the screen. Let me see. Am I still live? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? What's happening, guys? Am I back up? All right, great. I'm so sorry about that network issue. But have you gotten value so far? I'm so sorry about the network issue. There was an issue with the network, but I think I'm back up. Hope you've gotten value so far. So thank you all for being a part of the Winning Mindset this month. And we are going ahead to the next session. This is just an introduction. Hope you enjoyed the introduction. So this is just an introduction, and we're going to the next session now. We're going to the next session right now. Just stay tuned for the next session. My mentor, Elisha Mamman, is coming up, and then Mr. Nee, the speaker for today, will be coming up. So stay tuned as we start that up. So let's just
Anthony Robbins said that goal setting is the key to converting whatever is invisible into visible. What that simply means is that if you don't set goals, you are going to be invisible. And there are so many of you here today. Your goals are lofty, your goals are beautiful, but they are never real. They are not real, not because they cannot be real. They are not real because they were never set. Until you set them, you will hit them. It is goals that validate action. It is goals that give meaning to actions.
Define your identity. You know why it's important to define your identity? Because if you are not careful, once you go into the market with a wrong identity of who you are, anything that you see that seems to make you feel uncomfortable, you want to define yourself based on the image of that person or based on the identity of that person. And that's why it's important to define your own identity. Define your identity with regards to your proposition. What is the functional benefit of doing anything with you?
Hello. Good morning, everyone. It's another fourth Saturday, and this is the Winning Mindset with Elisha Mamman. I hope you got so much value from the first session. I've watched Fee in the last 3 years, and his growth has been phenomenal. It is amazing. It is amazing. It is amazing. And I was listening to Fee, and Fee emphasized the process of growth. And listen to me, the most reliable way, the most trusted way to reach any goal is by growing up. Growth is the fastest pathway to achieving goals. And you can't grow until you make intentional changes in your life. You must begin from now, change the things you hear. You must begin from now, change the things that you see. You must begin from now to change the kind of words that you use. You must begin from now. Change, select carefully the association you hang with, because growth does not happen by chance. Growth happens deliberately. And so I'm excited that we took out time to prepare you to understand the issue of growing. This platform is about informing you. This platform is about inspiring you. This platform is about motivating you to take the actions that are required to deliver to you the goals that you truly desire. And today we are here again for the same reasons. We are here because for you to reach your goals, you must grow. For you to grow, you must make changes. For you to make the right change, you must be informed. So it starts from information to adjustments, then growth, then goals. And so that part can change your life. And he did amazing by telling us it begins by what we hear. And so today, my brother, I call him my mentor. He is an amazing speaker. I love how he communicates. I love his personality. I even love his capacity to support, because he supports me vehemently. And today, I have the honor to bring Mr. Neil Soyinka. He is a polymath. He has mastered the art of many things, and none of them is giving him headache. He's not just a polymath, he is a success catalyst. He is a radio host. He is a pastor. He is a banker. He is a husband. He is a father. And he is mentoring the Elisha Mama. Ladies and gentlemen, with so much excitement in my heart, I bring to you Neil Soyinka. Over to my team.
Let me start by saying my head, I beg you. Please don't believe a word of that last statement. Everybody, please don't believe a word of that last statement. I told him yesterday that I'm a Pekin, I'm under authority. I told him yesterday he was sharing some of his proteges, insight and deep stuff from some of his proteges that he has raised. And I said, I didn't say my own line. Waiting the happens, Baba. I'm also under authority. I'm so glad. Before I come to Mr. Elisha, Fee, that was amazing. That was super amazing. We are so proud of your growth in the last 3 years. You are somebody who has followed Mr. Elisha selflessly, and we thank you for all that you do. Thank you, Fee. We are so proud of you. I'm personally proud of you. Right, Mr. Elisha Mamman, you are a system. You are a territory. Right? This is not because you are here. I've said it in your absence. My loyalty remains unquestionable. You are somebody who I thank God. One of the words I use with you always is that I thank God you came. I thank God you came. Your coming birthed certain strange things in this city, certain strange things in our life. You are a system, and we deeply celebrate you. We deeply honor you. And we are praying for you, right, that it will be from glory to glory and from glory to glory. Thank you for all that you do, sir. Right, I'm so grateful again for this platform. Right, I do not take it for granted. That's why anytime you call upon me, I would, even if I'm busy, I'm engaged, I will make out time to be here because I know you and I value you. I lack words to express it, but thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. Right, that's been my word always. Thank you for coming. Thank you, sir. Right. Again, some of the thoughts I've shared today are some of the things you have also lived. You literally lived some of the pages of this book. Right. I'm going to be sharing thoughts from my book. And again, I'm thankful that you could give me this platform to talk about it. I'm grateful again. But secondly, or thirdly, rather, I also want to say that, please let me know if you can hear me loud and clear. All right. Let me know that everyone can hear me. All right. And thirdly, I want to say that you are one person who has also lived the pages of this book. Right. And I say that for free. And it was some of your stories, some of your experiences that I was also able to put together, right, in some of the chapters of the book. And so, again, we are grateful for all that you do. right? Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. And you really exemplify some of the pages of this book. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. All right. Your family is my family, and I love you sincerely. All right. Thank you, Winning Mindset, again for having me here. Today we're going to be talking about how to earn a fee from what you do for free. I'm not going to waste your time at all. In the next maybe 45 minutes, 50 minutes, we're going to do it because, of course, I'm going to share inside of my book. So if I spend 2 hours here, 3 hours, how will you buy the book? All right. Forgive me. All right. So today we're going to be talking again about how to earn a fee from what you do for free. The first thing I want to say to you is that I have a personal experience, right, of being a little gifted. Like Mr. Elisha said, I'm a bit of a polymath. All right. I lay my hands on a lot of things, but over the years, I encountered frustrations. I encountered troubles, right? Not because I couldn't do those things, not because I wasn't doing them well, but because I wasn't earning from the things that I was doing. Right, so I could do a couple of things. But you know, money wasn't commensurate. I have a stable pay, all right, in 9 to 5, which is great, right? But from the other things that I do, I'm not able to generate, you know, the kind of money that I wish, or for the kind of value that I'm giving out. I couldn't generate the kind of income that is deserving of it. I'll say that again, and that may be your experience. All right, for the kind of value that you know you are churning out, right? The monetary, because like it or not, all right, we're going to talk about money today, okay? But the monetary equivalent of the value that I was churning out was nothing to come up about. So it's been my story, all right? I grew up in Ngwarimi, in Kaduna. I went to a school where in my JSS 1G, I was in JSS 1G in Rimi College. I sat down on the floor, all right? Every morning for 24 minutes, I would walk to school, and 24 minutes in the afternoon in the hot sun, I will walk back home. All right. I will also take those days gari and fish. All right, with yaji. Yaji is pepper, all right, grounded pepper that we do locally here. All right, those were my staple. All right, every afternoon after school. Then I'll finish there because we are not receiving, you know, enough lectures every day. If you have 3 or 4 teachers in a day, all right, then be grateful that day was a great day. All right, but for the whole of 8 hours or 6 hours, maybe 8 to 1 in school those days, you barely have 1, 2, 3 teachers. If you have 4, 5, then that day must be a miraculous day. So that was the kind of school I went to. So I would have to go for lesson, what you call extramural classes, all right, to make up for some of the things that I couldn't get in secondary school. So that was my experience, all right? I wasn't any boy. There was no spoon in my mouth. There was no spoon. In fact, there wasn't silver spoon. It wasn't even watako, if I agree my language. It wasn't wooden spoon, right? It was no spoon at all, right? So that was my journey. But I'm glad that I encountered certain truths early. Okay, I wasn't a bad boy. By the grace of God, I wasn't truly a bad boy. And I'm not saying if you've been a bad boy, there's anything wrong in it. You're a new creature. All things are passed away, right? But I exhibited some form of stubbornness. My background was like any other person. It was like any ordinary person. Okay, so let's start off today. One of the things I realize in life, one of the greatest tragedies I realize in life is death. Okay, and I'm not here to spoil anybody's party. How do I mean death? The death of a loved one, the death of a wife, of a father, of a sibling. All right, it's pathetic. All right, it's deep and very saddening to have lost somebody or to be losing somebody. I believe that's one of the greatest tragedies. Death of a loved one, of a friend, of a colleague is one of the greatest tragedies you will have in life. The second tragedy, all right, I believe, is people who are gifted, people who are loaded, people who are blessed, all right, but cannot explore the blessing in them, right? People who have certain gifts, certain abilities, okay, but somehow for many reasons, maybe for lack of exposure, for lack of discipline, or for what have you reasons, they are not able to display the resources, the treasures, and the gifting that was deposited by God in them. So this is the second tragic event that I know happens. Number one is death. Number two is potentials that cannot see the light of the day. That's why one of my greatest tutors ever, the late Dr. Miles Monroe, said something once. He said the richest place in the world is not a gold mine of South Africa. The richest place in the world is not the oil well in Kuwait. It's not the oil well in the Niger Delta in Nigeria. The richest place in the world is the grave where books are unwritten, song are unsung, all right? Books are unwritten, a lot of things are so the richest place in the world, okay, is actually not even, all right, name them, not all those places I've mentioned. It's actually in your backyard, all right, in a cemetery around you, because a lot of potentials have been buried. So those are the kind of second tragedies that I know. Then the third tragedy is what I want to talk about today. The third tragedy is people who, all right, have these abilities. They are not number two now. They've gone beyond number two. They are now expressing these potentials. They've developed it, all right? They've developed expertise. They've developed skills, right? They've developed what you call notoriety in a measure with those abilities on their inside. However, sadly, tragically, they are not able to make money from that thing. Oh, you know them in your neighborhood. You know them. They are your friends. They are your neighbors, right? You have a guy in your church who can sing like hell. All right, but you see certain people who are blowing today. But you say, Kai, this is my guy. If my guy can only have the stage that this guy have, then they will know that this guy is the best of his kind. But somehow they are not making it. They are your friends. Okay, they are skilled. They could play soccer like no man's business. Maradona cannot be even compared to them. All right, Maradona just died a few days ago. All right, may his soul rest in peace. It can't even be compared to them. And I'm not joking about this. You know them. They are in your neighborhood. They are your friends. They're in your church, they're in your mosque, right? You know, and some of them can actually be you. And I'm talking about you, probably you are that person who is a genius on the computer system. You can write programs like craze. You can speak more than Elisha Maman and Fee Stephen, all right? If we sit down under your tutelage, okay, we will also take notes. And you could be somebody like that. However, you are not able to earn a fee from those things, then you are the tragedy. Is this third set of people? I don't want to talk about number 1 and 2. Is it third set of people that this program has been set up to do? All right. And another set of people are people who do things for free. People always love to pick your brain. They say, Guy, Alpha, they know you that you, without you, they will not do any project. They say, no be Joseph. We'll go call Joseph. Joseph will always get idea for this. Moku picking brains more. You know them, brain pickers. They will pick your brain and say, Guy, Alpha, you want to do this project? Give us idea. We know say you don't do it before. All right, just give us. And they will go make money, make millions, and they will not settle you one dime. I've also had a similar experience. I went to teach in a place at the time, and I was the only person. I say this under this great platform. I was the only person that was not paid. Every other person was paid. Everybody who did everything, okay, was paid except me. And of course, I'm not angry. I'm not angry at all. But my problem was that I didn't understand some of these principles I'll be sharing with you for free this morning. I didn't understand the principles. But now that I do, the game has changed for me completely. All right. So we're going to be talking about how can you earn a fee? It's not just a cliche. Right? It's not a cliche. It's not just a rhyme. I didn't put these words was not put out because it's a rhyme. No. How can you truly earn a fee from what you do for free? Fela Durotoye said something one time. He said, God's greatest desire is for you to earn a fee from what you do for free. He said one of God's greatest desires for you is that you earn a fee from the things that you do for free. Right? So today, and of course, let me put a caveat, let me put a warning very quickly. Okay. This talk today, of course, Winning Mindset will not condone that. Will not say, because Winning Mindset is a free platform. All right. So Winning Mindset. So the warning here is that I am not saying that you shouldn't do things for free. Listen to me. Right. However, I want to share with you this afternoon or this morning certain skills, certain strategies. All right. That will make you begin to earn a fee from the things you do for free, so that you can get to do more things for free. Seller. I'll say that again. What I want to share with you today, we're warning. Tell your neighbor, warning. The warning is not to stop you from doing things for free. This platform is free. I'm speaking on this platform for free. I still speak for free, okay? However, it will enable you to be able to do some of those things that you do for free and earn a fee from them, so that you can do more things for free. And why do I say that? If you ask the average Nigerian on the street, one of their greatest desire is to be a philanthropist. Nigerians are nice like that. If you are, I just want to help people, okay? But while the person needs help, so the idea is to show you how you can help yourself first before you help others. Because I'm not questioning you. I'm not saying that. You want to be philanthropic? Great. Excellent. All right. But I can tell you for free that even you need help first. And that's what this talk is about. So when you begin to earn a fee from the things you do for free, then you will ultimately get to do things for free. Because by the time you are empowered, financially. If I can tell you a lot of things that Mr. Elisha do for free, you will wonder of the millions that goes out from him every year. Okay? Because he does certain things because the more he has fee from what he does for free, the more he's able to do things for free. And that can be your story. That can be your story. All right. So I'm going to divide this talk into 3 powerful segments, 3 very important segments. Okay. The first segment is going to be how to, I don't want to assume, Fee has done justice to that. Mr. Elisha too has done a bit of support to that, okay? One of the things I want to do, I'm going to divide this talk into 3 powerful segments. The first one is what I call the discovery stage. Like I said, Fee said a few things about them, all right? The second stage is what I call the development stage. Then the last stage is what I call the duplication and the deployment stage. The duplication or the deployment and the duplication stage. I'll say that again, DDD, all right? First one is discovery, second stage is development, and the third stage is development and deployment. That's exactly what I'm going to talk about today. All right, so I don't want to assume that everybody out here has discovered what they do for free, right? To assume is limiting. To assume is dangerous. Somebody say assumption is the lowest level of knowledge. I do not even assume that knowledge assumption is any form of knowledge. But let's just agree for the sake of everybody that assumption is the lowest form of knowledge. Okay. However, let me say, so I'm not assuming at all. I want to start from that very elementary stage of discovery. How do I mean discovery? All right, you need to be able to discover those things that you do for free. You need to be able to discover your potentials. You need to be able to discover your purpose. You need to be able to discover your calling, because it is there you are safe. It is there that you can confidently charge a fee when you have discovered what is your own. So if you have not discovered it, there is no way that you can able to earn a fee from those things you have not discovered. So one of the ways to make discoveries is what I call the incredible power of questions. All right. I've said it over and over again this year more than ever, that one of the greatest things you can do for your life is to ask questions, And I'll prove it to you, right? You need to ask, why am I here? Why am I even on this platform? Right? Why am I broke? Okay, all right, who am I? What can I do? See, questions are pregnant with realities. I always tell people that your answers are not far away. They are waiting for the questions that they are yet to ask. I'll say that again. Your answers are usually not far away. They are waiting for the right questions. That's why when you enter an environment, or you enter a place, or you meet certain people, and you ask certain questions, and they begin to wonder, where have you been all this while? This question is all available here. Why? Because you've not asked the right questions. I can tell you that one of your limitations is that you are not asking questions, or you are not asking the right question. Today, one way to discover, all right, the greatness and the things that you can do for free is to ask probing questions, right? Ask probing questions. For instance, you need to ask, who am I? Why am I here? What can I do? See, I truly believe that some of the greatest words on earth are why, where, when, how, when. Did you hear what I said? Some of the greatest questions you can ever ask for in your life and in your journey is why, where, when, how. You know, those questions are powerful. They are pregnant, and I can prove it to you. All right. Why am I here? Who am I? How can I do these things? Where am I going? When am I going? You see that? If you are able to answer these questions religiously, they are not rhetorical questions. They are not questions that you seller. No, they are not seller questions. They are questions that you should pick a pen and answer. So one way to discover is to ask questions. And let me give you a few questions to ask. Who am I? Where am I from? That's the first question. So I tell people, I was preaching in a Redeemed Church yesterday, and that was one of the first questions I asked them. One of the best questions to ask in your discovery journey is to ask yourself, where am I from? Right, because if you believe you are from water, you better go back to water and get ahead. And no, because don't deceive yourself. Let's assume that you are from water now, and you're assuming you are from somewhere. That's problem for you. So if you are from water, you better know where you are from, so that you can be able to order your life and structure your journey. Very important. Okay, so you need to ask, all right, where am I from? What can I do? Right? What was I born to do? Where am I going? Okay, exciting question. How can I make the world a better place? What are my potentials? What can you wake me up at 1 a.m. to do without any stress? I say jokingly that let's say if I sleep at 12 a.m., okay, and you wake me up at 1 p.m. and you are shouting my name, I'm likely not to answer you, right? Because at that 1 hour, I need that 1 hour to really calm down to sleep. So until maybe you come and beat me or flog me, but if you are shouting my name, I will not wake up for that 1 hour. You need to give me a 1 hour and above. But after 1 a.m., all right, you wake me up, even if you call me from a distance, I will quickly wake up, right? But I say to you that if you probably woke me up after 30 minutes of sleeping or just 20 minutes of sleeping that I told you I will rarely wake up, and you ask me to do certain things, I will do them stresslessly, effortlessly, all right? Then that is one of the callings that I have. All right, that's a clue. I'm just giving you a clue. Let me tell you about purpose quickly. I tell people that there are 5 ways to discover your purpose quickly. Let me tell you very quickly. All right, number one of the things why Winning Mindset is set upon is that somebody discovered his purpose. Mr. Elisha Maman discovered his purpose. All right, and I can tell you indirectly, he's also earning a fee from what he does for free from this platform. This platform is free, but I can tell you that he has made tons of money from also doing this thing for free. Somehow, I will not tell you about that. Just go for his class. I think he has a 35 class, all right, this weekend that you can enroll into. Okay, very powerful. So number one, you need to ask yourself, number one, okay, what is my pain? What is my pain? My greatest pain on I said on radio very recently, I said never allow your pain to waste. Please write it on the board, write it on the screen if you can. Never allow your pain to waste. Let me explain it to you. Some of you are thinking that this pain will kill you. This pain is killing me. I wish I could come out, but let me tell you for free. Sometimes there is purpose in your pain. Never allow your pain to waste. You can write it boldly on the screen. Please, I want you to see that. Never allow you know why? Because there's purpose in your pain. Right? Because God even says that he will cause all things to work together for your good. He didn't say good things. He said all things. That means God has a system that even certain things that was meant to destroy you, God can orchestrate it and engineer it to make it good for you. I'm telling you for free. All right. If you believe him, he will orchestrate that pain to become your purpose. So you can find your purpose through your pain. All right. Another P, okay, is your potential. All right. I don't want to go into that. What can you do naturally? I've talked about that. That's how to find your purpose. All right. The third thing is your personality. Right. Your personality is also a way to finding your purpose. What is your personality? Who are you? What kind of person are you? It's also a clue of finding your purpose. Number 4, what problem are you always attracted to? What problem are you attracted to? Okay. All right. It's also a clue to finding your purpose. Right, your pain. Now, let me say one thing about your pain. Let me give you a very practical example. I jumped to the pain. Let me say one thing. Okay, there are 2 ladies. One of them was raped. The other 2 was raped. 2 of them. So Lady A and Lady B. Lady A was raped, and she said, "Oh, this pain is too much. My life has ended. I will not continue my life again." All right. So she steps down, and that's the last time we even have one person in scripture like that. That's the last time we heard of her. But Lady B, Sister B, said she went through the same experience with Lady A. She said, "You know what? I have this pain. I've been raped. In fact, I have a baby out of this rape. I don't even know the guy that raped me. I'm crying. I'm in pains. My parents have even rejected me." But you know what she will say? She said, "Out of this pain, I want to raise a campaign. I want to raise a foundation against rape." Can you see purpose in the pain? So I'm telling somebody out there, I want to speak to you. This is not a church meeting, all right? But I want to speak to you out there that you need to watch that your pain, because I can tell you for free, probably that is why you are here today, that pain is perhaps your purpose. Look at it again. Look at it like that lady who was raped, and she said, "Out of this, I'll form an NGO. I'll form a foundation that will deliver girls and ladies, all right, from the trauma, all right, of pain." That can be a purpose. Right? Then another last way to find your purpose is the problem you're attracted to. Then, of course, by prayer. I believe that one of the greatest ways to find your purpose is to go back to your source, right? Nobody knows you better than you do. I'm using an Infinix phone here, and nobody understands this by the Infinix company. They have another Samsung phone here. Nobody understands Samsung than the Samsung product itself, all right? The Samsung manufacturers. So one of the ways to maximize or find your purpose is to go back to your source. All right, very powerful and very important. And I need to say this, very important. See, if you fail to find your purpose, If you fail, and I want somebody to write this or note this, if you fail to find and follow your purpose, you will deny many a path to trail. This is getting good. All right. If you fail to find your purpose and follow your purpose, you will deny many a path to trail. Let me tell you for free, some of you, why you are where you are today is because somebody lost out in their purpose. This is not a purpose seminar, but it's going to be it's going to be a foundation to what I'm going to say. Right? Somebody out here listening to me, if somebody, maybe a parent, all right, maybe a brother, maybe a sibling, maybe an uncle, maybe a senator in your environment are taking the journey of purpose more seriously, most likely you will be better than what you are doing. And even when that is good, I know you are nodding your head and I know you are happy. Me, you are speaking my mind. That's true. I wish my parents had this kind of money. I know where I've been today. Grateful. Thank you. All right. But when you have said that, put that in one side of your pocket. I want to balance it very quickly. Even though nobody has helped you, let me tell you, okay? No man owes you anything. Please say that on the board. You can please write it in capital. I want to hear people screaming out here. No man owes me anything. I'll say that one more time. No man owes you anything. Now, this is very important. I've said that if people had helped you, you'll have been better. But how come I'm tweaking it? This is what we call a growth mindset. Of course, I'm not talking about mindset today. There's what we call a fixed mindset. What will be, will be. Then there's what we call a growth mindset. A growth mindset said, yes, people have not helped me. I would have been better if they had helped me. I would have been better if I met probably Mr. Elisha earlier in my journey. I would have been better. True, that is the truth. However, I surrender to the fact that no man owes me anything. However, I owe my generation everything. Oh, this is getting great. See the point, the growth mindset? No man owes you anything. However, you owe the world everything. See, this changes your game completely, and this begins to help you to see how you can begin your journey. Very, very critical and very important. Save a generation. There's a generation working out for you. There's a generation that if you do not find your purpose, if you do not fulfill your purpose, I can tell you for free, they will suffer what you are suffering. Now, I told you earlier that you're actually suffering because certain person didn't find their purpose. Now, a generation after you will also suffer if you fail to find and follow your purpose. This is very critical and this is very important in your journey. So discover it. All right. Ask question. I don't want to talk about certain other things because of my time. Go get my book. It will tell you how to get it. Now, let me talk about the second step. All right. The second stage is what I call development. So you have done the first stage effectively. In fact, some of you, that first stage I mentioned, you say it's for boys. It's not for you. Now, let me tell you your own stage. All right. You've discovered your purpose. You've discovered your potentials. You've discovered the things that you can do for free. You've discovered those things that people always call you for. You are the first person that calls you for. Thank you guys for retweeting and mentioning those posts. Okay. So you have said all of those great stuff. You are a discovery master. So you are here. However, that is not enough. I see a lot of people, that is where they stop. They stop at the stage of discovery and they are wondering why they are not earning a fee from what they have discovered. I want to tell you why. Let me give you a practical example. You go to the market, you want to buy meat. All right, you want to buy 1 kilo of meat is about 1,400 naira. Don't ask me how I know. All right, sometimes I support my wife in the market. Okay, so so you went to buy 1 kilo of goat meat for 1,400 naira. So when you went there, okay, you now said, Mona, give me the meat now. So you carry the meat and started eating it. My dear, you said they should give you knife. They should give you knife and fork. You want to start eating raw meat. Oh, you know what will happen? People will run away from you. People will say, one carnivore don't date town. Now lie on this guy. Be which village? Mo go check him. This guy they okay. So people are running away from you. People want to carry you to the psychiatric hospital that is around you. Right now, that's exactly what some people do. They have discovered the meat on their inside. However, it is still raw. So they are expecting people to eat it. People don't eat raw meat. So why you are not earning a fee from what you do for free is that what you have discovered, your giftings is still raw. Those things you do for free cannot be taken into the market yet. The market will not buy it because it is what it is. It is raw. There's still blood around it. Nobody eats raw meat. Therefore, nobody eats your raw potentials. Nobody eats your raw purpose. Are you hearing me? They don't eat it. They will not. That is why you are not earning a fee from it. Pastor has taught you how to discover your purpose. It's great. Pastor also taught me how to discover my purpose. However, have you been told how to ensure that that purpose is developed. So that's the second stage, the development. So when you get a raw meat, a goat meat, one of the things you do is to wash it. Okay, you wash it. One of the things you also do is to parboil it. You boil it on fire. Okay, and one of the other things you also do, you season it. Okay, you put Maggi, you put salt, you put curry, you put all of those fantastic things that makes it smell. Or some of you want to make it a barbecue. All right, what happens when those things begin to come on those things? They become attractive. That's exactly what you need to do with your purpose. And one of the ways to develop your purpose is to undergo what I call the process. And it was a process that Fee talked to us about earlier. You must refine it. You must undergo a process. There's a generation out there that doesn't want the process. They hear that the platform is called Winning Mindset, is making the airwaves. They also want to have a winning mindset, or call it any platform they want to call it. I just pity you. You should imagine the journey and the processes that has taken Mr. Elisha here. It took him after 40 years of his life for him to get this platform. I'm not saying it has to take you 40 years to have a winning mindset platform, but I'm just telling you that it took a process. It took a while. There's a generation out there that doesn't want to hear what I'm saying, but I will tell you the truth. All right, this is my August platform, and I'll be very blunt with the truth. Okay, you must undergo the process. Some of you are coming out half-baked, and you are wondering why you are not surviving, why you have not survived. I can tell you, if you really want to last long, listen, if you want this generation to remember you, and you are not just coming after 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, you disappear, you must undergo this process of development. All right, how do you put it on fire? You put that raw meat on fire, so you must be under fire, under certain development. See, I think it was Jim Rohn that said it is better to know how to make 1 million than to have 1 million. It is better to know how, the process of making 1 million naira, than having 1 million. Why? Because when you know how to make 1 million, you will make it over and over and over again. But if you are just giving, now that's exactly what happens to people who win lottery. Have you heard that many people who win lottery over the years, actually, you know what happens to them? After 5 years, that's shown that most of them come back to the level where they were before that lottery of $50 million came to their hand. Why do you think they went through that? They came back to their level. Why? They didn't undergo the process. Money just came upon them, but they couldn't sustain it. Okay, because whatever process you undergo, if you lose it, you can always get it back because you know the process. All right, whatever process you undergo also makes you last, also makes whatever you accept is retained. I hope I'm communicating. All right, very important. Process is critical. Process helps you maintain what you have. Process helps you grow. Process helps you develop. Process helps you stay the test of time. Process is critical. All right, undergo the process. Don't be a half-baked person. Don't be a half-baked person. Some of us have been on this journey for years, and we are still here. All right, this is the reason why we are here. The process counts. The process matters. All right, another way, all right, to develop this thing is what I call you need to volunteer. One of the things that Mr. Elisha in his book called service. All right, I'm looking for his book to here. All right, he calls it service. Okay, you must be able to volunteer. That's one of the things that is making Fee and other great people think. All right, your ability to serve selflessly, your ability to serve recklessly. I'm telling you, see, one of the greatest clues to becoming great is to serve a great man. Serve him as if your life depends on it, because truly your life truly depends on it. Again, there's a generation out there. Some of you are expecting, I hope you are not going away. Some of you are expecting I'll just come and tell you how to earn a fee from what you do for free. Listen to me. If this foundation is not known, that's why it's probably some people call this book a life manual. All right, because I detail all of these things practically, because I can't deceive you. I can't begin to tell you how to earn a fee from what you do for free now without laying this foundation. If this foundation is not known, you can only earn a fee once, and that is all. Okay, so one way to do this, another way rather, I told you number one is process. Number two is your ability to volunteer, to serve. Let me say this one word very quickly. Did you know that some of you, all right, you attend church and mosque, and did you know that your church and your mosque is not a church and a mosque? The federal government did not, don't throw stone on me yet. Okay, listen to me. Okay, the federal government does not recognize your church and mosque as a church of mosques. What the federal government of Nigeria recognizes your church and your mosque is that they are called NGOs. They are called non-governmental organizations. Did you hear what I said? Non-governmental organization is what your church is called. I don't care with the kind of beautiful name you have, right? I don't care the kind of fantastic name your mosque has. It is only recognized as a non-governmental organization. I just want to give you a clue. Now, some of you graduate from school, you are 25, you are 26, and you went to look for a job. And immediately you got to get to the point, in fact, while you are applying, before you even get to the gate of interview, while you are applying, they tell you that we need people who have 5 years experience, people who have 10 years experience, people who have 20 years experience. And suddenly you are at there 25, you are saying, oh, my village people have come again. Where do they expect me to have 5 years experience when I'm just starting out? Let me give you a clue. Did you know that if you serve, let's say you're a Christian, for instance, you are serving as an usher, you are doing a protocol in church, somehow you are doing cleaning, sanitation. Did you know that some of you already have 5 years experience in that NGO? Nobody has told you this before. Now, some of you already have experience serving. You have experience volunteering in NGOs called your church and your mosque already. All right, that you can take your, I'm not saying you should now take your CV now and begin to write church and mosques. No, the children of this world are wiser than the children of men. All right, tweak it, give it a name. For instance, I'm privileged to pastor a youth called Fresh Dew Hub. All right, so you can definitely put Fresh Dew Hub there. Nobody will ask you whether it's a church or mosque. It's an NGO I serve. I help in growing the membership. The Winning Mindset as an NGO too. I help in growing the membership of the Winning Mindset from 50 to 250 within the space of 3 months, my dear. So some of you who are running away from serving platforms like this, serving your church or your mosque, can you see how you are deceiving yourself? You are doing yourself. Nobody is following you. Volunteer, serve. So when you do this, some of you have already 10 years experience. Who is telling you have no experience? But of course, if you are not serving in these places, you have 0 experience. Nobody will employ you. This is very critical. You must serve, 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 serve. Anybody who wants to be king amongst you, anybody who wants to be chief among you, Jesus said, must first be a servant. The route to leadership is service. The route to greatness, the shortest cut. They say shortcut is not bad, but I want to give you this shortcut. The shortcut to greatness, the shortcut to leadership is selfless service. Serve. And you know what you are doing? When you are serving, you are also developing. Remember, I didn't forget what I'm talking about, all right? You're also developing your skills, all right? Because I can tell you for free, I earn 6 figures today every year in public speaking, and I can tell you for free 70 to 80% of what I do in public speaking, I didn't learn them from a school per se. I learned them when I served in church, when I served platform and served men. It is key, and I can earn a fee from them today. Why? Because I've developed, I've grown, right? This is very critical. Let me give you one more because of my time. Another way to do it is to become a ritualist. Now, don't run away, okay? Thank God you are not seeing any chicken here. You are not seeing any knife here. You are not seeing any blood here, all right? So listen to me attentively, okay? Don't run away. How do I mean becoming a ritualist? Now, a ritual, the word ritual doesn't necessarily mean, all right, killing somebody. The word ritual simply means what you do daily, all right? What you do consistently, what you do every day. So this is very simple, okay? A lot of people said that your destiny is in the hand of God. I agree. Some other people say your destiny is in your hand. I also agree. Some others say that your destiny is on your inside. I agree. All right. Some say your destiny is in the future. I agree. Some also say your destiny is in your past. I also agree. Let me mention them again. Some people say that your destiny is in the hand of God. I believe it. Some say your destiny is in your hand. Your future, rather, is in your hand. Some say your future is on your inside. Bring out something on your inside. I also agree. Some say your future is in tomorrow. Some say no, your future is tied to something in the past. I agree with all of those 5 things wholeheartedly. But let me tell you what they don't tell you. They do not tell you that your future is hidden in your daily routine. Your future is hidden day to day. Whatever, if I can see what you do every day, I'll be able to predict your future with a certain measure of certainty. Check out the men. Check out one practical people who exemplify these are athletes. Athletes, every day they jog. You will see somebody who has a pot belly. My pot belly is reducing, okay? All right. So you see people who are pot belly like this, after 6 months of exercise, of waking up every morning at 5 a.m. and finishing at 6 a.m., or waking in the night, or jogging in the night from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m., suddenly after 6 months, you begin to say, you see the picture that is trending these days. You remember those pictures that is trending these days? How it used to be, how it is going, how we were before, how it is going. So you see, in a matter of 6 months, by the power of becoming ritualist, by the power of engaging in an activity every day, they become geniuses. Let me give you this for free, and this is for somebody's word. All right, you are listening to me out there. I don't care the career you have read. Sit down every day. Let's say 10 p.m. to 12 p.m. every day, or 10 p.m. to 11 a.m. Just 1 hour. I'm not saying you should do it too much, right? Because your future is hidden in your daily routine. Your future is hidden in your daily routine. All right. So let me say that I don't care your career. So every day you are YouTubing. Every day you are listening to a podcast. All right. You're on YouTube watching my YouTube videos, watching Elisha Mama's YouTube video, and every day you are developing expertise daily. You are not missing it, because all right, daily or frequent consistency is better than one-time intensity. Long-term consistency is far better than short-term intensity. Yeah. Long-term consistency is better than short-term intensity. So what I'm saying is that what you are doing daily, how did you become a graduate? Is it not every day you are going to school? So how do you want to become what you want to become in life and anything from what you do? Do them daily. In 3 months, in 6 months, I've always said this, you will be separated from your crowd, because your future is not just on your inside. It's just not in the hand of God. It's not just in your past. Your future is somewhere locked up in your daily routine. All right. This is very powerful, and this is very important. All right. One of the last things I want to say to you as per discovery or development, all right, is to develop what I call a product. All right. You should develop a product. Very powerful. You must develop a product. That's the last stage of development. Now, let me tell you for free. Okay. People, they don't want to buy you. So one of the things why you are not earning a fee from what you do for free is that you think that since you have discovered your purpose, you have even developed it, that people should automatically begin to pay you for it. My dear, you are lying. All right. One of the reasons why I also didn't get, I told you my story. One of the reasons why I didn't get paid was this reason. Number one, I didn't develop a product or service. Nobody wants to buy you. People wants to buy your product or your service. Say that on the screen, please. Let me hear you say that on the screen. Scream it out on the screen. Nobody wants to buy you. I want you to punch your neighbor if somebody's listening to you by the side. But the best way to punch your neighbor is to write it on the screen. Nobody is looking for you. People are looking for the product or services that you have developed. And this is one of the benchmarks of earning a fee from what you do for free. Now we're entering the nitty-gritty of what you want to hear. But I'm not discarding what I said. If you miss what I've said earlier, then you need to listen to the replay or buy this video if it is out for sale, of course, or go get this book immediately. All right. Now, so listen to me very carefully. One of the greatest ways and the fastest ways to earn a fee from what you do for free is to develop a product or develop a service. Very principal, very critical. Because people are calling. So by the time when they call you next time to pick your brain, you're already waiting for them. Why? Because you've developed a product or a service. And they say, what did happen now? Nobody same person who will call last month with this. Now you want to earn a fee from what you do for free, my dear. Tell them. So okay, some people will say, let me even digress. Some people will say, bros now, what did happen now? Me, your brother again. How you go to charge me? See, tell them, if you as my brother cannot buy, okay, who else will buy? Guilt trip them. There's what we call guilt tripping them. Tell them, maybe you want me to buy your Ashwabi tomorrow. Don't you want me to come and spray you on your wedding? Tell them to buy your product first. That is the money you will do. All right. So tell them, guilt trip them, and tell them that if you don't buy my product, if you don't promote it, who will? I remember that they will always say, if you don't buy my product, if you don't buy my service, who will? And you can use wisdom. All right. You can tell them that, well, all right, since you are talking like this, see what I've done. I've also had what I call family and friends package. So let's say you are selling the product for 5K. You say, well, for family and friends, so all right, I'm giving a 30% discount. I'm giving a 40% discount. So instead of you paying 5K like everybody is paying, you can pay 3,000. 40% discount, just pay 3,000. Now because of you, or else I have to do that. You must develop a product and a service that people can see, that people can buy. This is very critical and this is very important. Right? Develop a product. But it was one great man, I think it was Fela Duro, the same Fela Duro that said something once. He said, it's not what you don't have that limits you. And I'm going to paraphrase it actually. It is not what you don't have that limits you. It is what you have that you do not know you have. Or what you have that you don't know how to use. That is your limitation. You're not earning a fee from what you do for free. It's not what it is. No. No, it is that, all right? It's not what you don't have that limits you. It is what you have that you do not know that you have, forgive me, or what you have that you don't know how to use. That is your limitation. Yeah, thank you, Mordecai. All right, nobody's looking for you. People are looking for the products and the services you have reproduced, and that is when they can give you money for it. This is very critical, and this is very important. Okay, and let me say quickly. Let me talk quickly about something here. This will help somebody. Somebody said, all of these stages that Niyi Soyinka is mentioning, I know them, I've done them, but I'm still troubled. Right? Before I talk about deploying, let me even talk about deploying already. Let's enter the third stage. Right? Deploying and duplicating. Number one, development, discovery. Number two, development. Number three, okay, deployment and duplication. I'll say that again. Number one is the discovery stage. Number two is the development stage. Number three is the deployment and the duplication stage. All right. So one of the things you must quickly do in deploying your market is to discover what I call beyond, all right, finding a product and a service. See, 50 years ago, 30 years ago, okay, you can decide that I want to start this business. Niyi Soyinka said, Elisha Maman has said, I need to begin to earn a fee from what I do for free. So now I just want to now launch my product and service. You are lying. Sorry, forgive me. I didn't mean that. All right. Now, this is what you need to do. The world has changed, right? You don't sit down in your house and concoct a product and a service and push it to the market. No, sir. Even if an angel appeared to you, Niyi Soyinka is telling you, ask the angel that you are coming. Go to the best. There's what we call a starving market and a starving crowd. Listen to me carefully. There's what we call a starving market. There's what we call a starving crowd. What they do is that this is one of the reasons why you're not selling your products well. This is one of the reasons that even though you have done all these stages I've mentioned, you are not selling well. Why? Because you are not selling to the starving markets. You are not selling to the starving market. There is, what do I mean by a starving market? Imagine right now, all of us are in a hall now. All of us watching here, we are in a physical hall. And somehow, because of the kind of the room that we are, all right, all of us become thirsty. All of us become hungry. Then suddenly, a small boy of 7-year-old, or maybe David Elisha Maman, 10-year-old smart guy, just came into the room, accompanied by my own son, General David, at 3. They now said, guys, our daddy has taught us how to earn a fee from what to do for free. So we have brought pure water. Of course, they will bring pure water and they will bring bottled water, but they bring very few quantity. And we are 100 and we are 250 in the room. And suddenly they brought 50 drinks, only 50 water. Let me tell you what happened. Number one, they can increase the price. Outside of the hall, people can be selling it at 550 naira. They will say they want to sell it at 1,500 naira. One, they can increase the price, number one. Number two, they will finish selling that product in less than 5 minutes. Two, you know what happens? See what happens. Why? Because they came to a starving crowd. They came to a thirsty crowd. One of the reasons your product is not selling, one of the reasons why your services are not selling, my dear, is because you do not have a starving. You are not in your starving crowd. You are not in your starving market. Your market is gbogbo. Not everybody can buy your product. Not everybody can be your customer, my dear. I want to reiterate that. No, probably you've had it out there, or they've told you that your product is the best product ever on earth. Okay, but I can tell you for free that there's a starving crowd who you don't even market to. By your presence there, they buy. So I make a practical example of people who are into POS business. How many of you know that one of the trending businesses today is POS business? So people don't want to go to the bank. Number one, maybe there will be queue in the ATM, so they will not go to the bank, or there will be queue in the banking hall. So there's a neighbor of theirs, all right, who is doing into POS business. So they say, okay, I don't want to go market, or I don't want to trek. I feel enter some. The money I will even use to get to ATM, maybe it's 100 naira you charge me. Oh yeah, take. Withdraw 5,000 from my account. Take 5,100 as well. I will have spent 200 naira transporting, going and coming, and most likely I will not even get money from the ATM or the banking hall I'm going to. But you, who is doing POS business, you have done a starving crowd. Do you get it? There's a starving crowd, and people are making cool money from that business, right? Because there's a starving crowd who needs the product. This is very critical, and this is very important in your journey. All right. I hope this is getting clear. If you are getting value, please let me know you are getting value. Mention value on the screen. Let me know that I'm still communicating with you and you want more. The more you say, the more I'm excited. I'm motivated to talk. This is very critical and important. The starving crowd and the thirsty crowd, the starving market and the thirsty market. When you get them, you will blow overnight. Take it from me for free. All right. Very powerful, very important. Okay. Another way, okay, to begin to deploy your product and duplicate them. Okay. Because these are the stages to earn a fee from what you do for free. Okay. You need to sell. This is what I said. I said, you may have a chief marketing officer for your product or your service. But you know what? You must become the chiefest marketing officer. This is good, right? You may be the chief marketing officer. You may have a chief marketing officer, somebody who promotes your brand. But let me tell you for free, it doesn't matter what you do. You must be the chiefest marketing officer. Don't be deceived. Some of the people who write bestsellers today, they have marketing officers. So some of those great guys who 10 times, all of those great books who have written fantastic books, they have companies who get their book published. But you know what? Jim Wick, all of those great guys, okay? But they also promote their book themselves. So you may have a chief marketing officer, again, for the opt-in time, but you must become your chiefest marketing officer. This is very critical. See, you must be shyless. You must be shameless about marketing. You must sell freely. You must sell free. See, sell like crazy. You know what? We've done about 600 copies of this book in less than 90 days, and I sell every day. I sell like a madman, as if my life depends on it. Truly, my life may depend on it. This is very important in your journey. You must take it as serious. And how bad do you want it? Is it a nice to have or a must have? Can I say it again? All right. How bad do you want it? How bad do you want to earn a fee from what you do for free? Is it a nice to have or a must have? If it is a must have, then you got to push it out like crazy. You got to market, you got to sell every single corner I go to. Every place. Somebody came to the banking hall where I work recently, and she bought the book in Lagos. And so when she bought the book in Lagos, she told me that she will be in Kaduna very soon. And when she comes to Kaduna, she will get it. Then suddenly she met me in the banking hall. She was shocked, that I work in the bank. And suddenly she now said, well, since I've seen you now, I'll be looking how I'll connect with you, in fact. But since I'm seeing you now, I think we should talk when we'll see so that I can pick some copies. I said, ma, you know what's up? I have copies in my boot in the car. Just hold on, let me go. How many copies do you want? She told me the number of copies. I bought it for her immediately. That's how bad. In my boot, in my wife's car, in case of incasity, the book is there, filtered everywhere. I'm selling you for free that this is how to say, because some of you are shy. You are from me, we are just shy, now so we did. See, until products are seen, they can't be sold. Until you sell, rather. Until you sell, you cannot sell. For a lack of a better word, my dear. I don't know how to pass this on. Until you sell, until you market, until you push out, you cannot sell. You must develop strategic means of selling. Engage in copywriting skills. All right? Give people, do what we call buy one, get one free. One of the things we did with this book was to say, if you buy this book, we will give you 19,500 worth of bonuses. Some of my amazing series on radio that has blessed people around the country will give you for free if you buy the book, and people are excited, they want to buy. So you must engage copywriting skills. You must engage stories to sell. Don't just say buy my book. No, tell them why they should buy it. I saw Mr. Elisha just yesterday putting a very fantastic, he wants to talk about his class, and he gave a very important story, how he was a pauper at 28, and within a space of 10 years, he was a multi-millionaire. Who would not want to read such a story? That's how to get traffic into your product. Killer proposals, killer headlines, right? So imagine now you want to sell something. You say somebody's okay, buy my books. Nobody will buy. Tell me why to buy your books. You can say 5 books to buy in your entire life. That's your title, right? Cure for baldness. Of course, people like me, we quickly want to buy it. You know what I mean? All right, very critical. So your headlines are key to sell. Many other things that I cannot say. It's a book on its own, and that is why this book is here. Okay, let's go ahead very quickly. Now, another thing for you to sell, as I begin to wind down in the next 10 minutes, another way to sell, Okay, or another way to project yourself. Remember, we're in the last stage, deployment and duplication, is what I call, listen to this very carefully, becoming visible. Becoming visible. If you can write it, write visibility on the screen. VISIBLITY. Visibility. And I remember very quickly, I think some months ago, it was Mr. Bankole who came to this platform and said, your visibility is as important as your ability. Visibility is a very powerful statement. Visibility is as important as your ability. Listen to this for free. Another way to earn a fee from what you do for free is that you are visible. All these are our family. All right, we are shy. See, let me tell you for free again. I think I mentioned it earlier, but let me say you this. Nobody's looking for you. Nobody's looking for you. You have been told many times that develop your skill and wait, your time will come. Listen to me. I believe in the sovereign act of God. I believe time and chance happen to them all, but I'm giving you a key that can make your time and your chance happen almost every day. And that is being visible. Being visible. It was a Jimmy that said visibility attracts favor. People only buy what they see. Don't assume. See, let me tell you, nobody is looking for you. I'm giving you this for free. Nobody is looking for you. You've got to come out. See, let me give you a practical example. You can be the best of the best of the best. In fact, you can have a protege that you train. However, all things being equal, categories parables, all right? However, your prodigy can be doing 5 times better than you, because I know somebody like that too. He trained certain people and he told them that him is not for the world. He's not for outside. He's rotting somewhere. I'm sorry to say, without due respect to him, he's rotting somewhere in a corner. But some of the proteges that he has trained actually began to project themselves. You think it's false humility? It's false humility to say, I don't want to show myself. No, sir. You are cutting short yourself. Because as long as we don't see you, we cannot patronize you. As long as we don't see you, we cannot buy from you. So I was trying to make a very practical example. It is not the best of the best that is selling. No, the Mohsin that is regarded as the best. Let me give you a practical example. All right. So you are into website design and you train somebody, or you know somebody 5 times lower than you. All right. If that you and that person stand in a place, right, they will literally take you beyond the person. However, you are not making noise. You are not talking anything. You say you are very humble. But this guy is always out there talking himself, projecting himself. You know what? Even though you are better than him, nobody knows you. They see the guy as being better. So listen to me. It is actually not the best that he's selling. It's actually the Mohsin that he's selling. So what is your reason for being shy? What's your reason for being shy? Give me one reason. You must be visible. Let me even give you a very powerful scripture. The Bible said something somewhere. It said, so that you don't think this is a show, this is real. You must show yourself. Please even write it on the screen. Show yourself. Tell your neighbor, show yourself. Show yourself. Let me prove it to you. The Bible says somewhere in the book of Matthew chapter 5. It said, can you light a candle and put it under a bushel? What you don't know is that you are a light, you are a candle. You are hiding under the shelter. Imagine the burning that you burn that mattress or that bed because you are hidden. That's even aside. He said, you are the light of the world. A city set. A city, that's a very powerful word. A city positioned. A city set on the hill cannot be in. Listen, he didn't say you are the light of the world because there are many lights of the world. He now gave a powerful word. He said you are set. So until you are set on the hill, you cannot be seen. You can be on the hill, and when you are not properly set, you will not be seen, and you will not be patronized, and you cannot earn a fee from what you do for free. Are you following very carefully? So he said, then let your light so shine. Permit your light to shine. Be unapologetic. Oh, good word here. Be unapologetic about letting your light shine. Show yourself. Be in people's face 247. I can tell you for free, the growth of this mindset, the growth of this platform, that's one of the reasons. Out there always. Winning mindset, you will see it every corner on Facebook, every corner. That's exactly what you must be. This book that is selling like mad, like crazy right now, the same thing we are doing every single day. There's no day I will not post about the book since the day it came out. Why? Reckless. We're even thinking of taking it to a notch higher in 2021. This is just a dress rehearsal, right? But this is my team. I have a team of people who have been doing fantastically well to help project the book. But in 2021, we're taking a notch higher. But basically, I'm just telling you some of the strategic ways to ensure that you make your products sell like mad. Very critical. As I begin to wind down today, right? I wind down in another 4 minutes. Okay, you must embrace this principle. Embrace. Let me give you my passing words. Build strategic alliances. Build strategic alliances. For instance, now I imagine the number of people who will buy this book after today, because of course I told you that I cannot tell you everything. If I tell you everything, you will not buy. But I imagine the number of people who will buy this book after today because I came on this platform. Strategic alliances. All right, relationships. Who is mentioning your name? I can tell you for free that there's a celebrity figure in this country who can mention this book one day on a platform and we will sell 1,000 copies. These are strategic relationships you must build. That's another way to sell. Who is calling your name? Who is mentioning your name? Fee will always tell you out there. One of the reasons why he's doing what he's doing today and he's getting the leverage he's getting is relying on the platform of his mentor. It's a principle. It's a principle. Leverage strategic alliances, my dear. Very important. And finally, because like I said, I can't say everything. Your location. Your location is critical. Your location will sometimes determine your location. Oh, I didn't say one word. Let me say one word. Let me say two things. I told you I have 2 minutes. Another way to deploy and duplicate what you do is to leverage the digital space. Eli Waduba is one young man. He was in my office some days ago, and we were discussing. He's one young man who has made a life by leveraging on the digital space. Listen to me. There are 7 areas that Zig Ziglar said is in life. He said there's what is called the spiritual aspect of your life. There's what is called the health aspect of your life. There's what is called the career aspect of your life. There's what is called, name them, there are 7 areas. I'm adding a 7th. I'm adding an 8th. You know what is that 8th? There's what is called a digital part of your life. So just like you will handle your financial life, just like you will handle your spiritual life, and I'm serious about this. All right, you should also be careful about your digital life, because your digital life is a life. You must be deliberate about it. One way to do it is to check. Google your name. What can you see? Be deliberate, be strategic. That young man, by one tweet, changed his life forever. Kevin Hart gave him $10,000. All right, he was just telling me during the week that the guy didn't even collect the product or anything. He didn't even do anything. He just gave me 10,000. That's about 4 million right now. If you convert it with what we're saying here, that is what we're talking about. Your ability to leverage the digital space. Leverage the digital space. There's no time to begin to tell you how to do all of that, but this is very critical in your journey. Leverage the digital space. Then finally, like I was trying to say something, I said even though you leverage the digital space and you can operate from every part of the world, sometimes also your location is very critical. I mean your physical location. This is very true. Some of you listen to me out there. Some of you actually probably need to change physical location. It may not be automatic. It may not be quick. All right, that's why some people are in certain part of the world. They are better than those who are in Lagos. But because Lagos is a hub, Lagos is an engine, those in Lagos are doing better. Johnny Obidi will always say that. He will always tell you that his breakthrough came when he got into Lagos. And so some people, yours may not be Lagos. All right. One of Mr. Elisha's friends, and one of my also dear friends, Mr. Solomon King, is in Bayelsa. He left Abuja for Bayelsa. The point is that you must be strategic, all right, about your location. Sometimes your location will largely determine your location. I believe with these few points of mine, you are able to know that you too can earn a fee from what you do for free. Like I said, I can't take it any further because of time. And of course, for the second reason that you got so that you can earn a fee from what you do for free. If I share everything, you will not buy. Thank you, Mr. Elisha Maman, for having me here. Thank you, Stephen, for all that you do and the amazing team who are working behind the scene. Thank you so, so much. I think I'm done this morning. I'm taking 55 minutes thereabout. I think it's a good time to stop. Fia, are you there? So I just shared with you guys insight from our book, How to Earn a Fee from What You Do for Free. And it is obtainable nationwide. Thank you for having me. If you got value, please say value. Say one of the things that you learned that is your takeaway on the screen. Let's see them. What is your own takeaway? Put it on the screen, your own takeaway. All right. I've said many things. I know. I've said it. I've told you about a book already. I've spoken a book already. Okay. So tell me your own takeaway from there. Thank you, Joseph, for being consistent with your with your posting. Let's wait for Fee and Mr. Elisha to come on screen.
All right, thank you so much, sir, for this amazing session. Very, very practical, and I love the way you started from the point where anybody can, decide that today is my day one of earning a fee from what I do for free. Anybody here can say that I know I have never done this before. I've never earned. I've never gotten an amount of money from this. But today is my day one. So I'll start from this first step that Mr. Nick talked about. I'll go to the second step, I'll go to the third step, and things like that. I'm sure that quite a number of people here would want to, beyond what we said, go ahead and still get that manual in the book and try and just go through it on their own, and then maybe reach out to you later. So for those that would want to get the book, right, how can they reach out? What's the best way to go ahead and just purchase a copy of the book that can change your life?
Beautiful, Fee. Thank you so much, and I'm glad that your team has been able to put it on the screen. On the screen, everybody, you can see either that link that is there, or simply just reach me on WhatsApp. You can reach me actually directly. You can have access to me directly on WhatsApp. 070-3457-0310. We want to make it very easy for you. 070-3457-0310. You can contact me directly on WhatsApp immediately after this broadcast, or go to that link. All right. The book is 5K. But like I said earlier, we have done our Black Friday for long. Me, I don't do my Black Friday fee. All right. So the Black Friday has been on for long. So we have been doing 50% since the book commenced. So the book is still 50%. All right. So you can get it for 2.5 instead of, we have done Black Friday before Black Friday started. The book, I can tell you, I think from January next year, it will go back to 5. No, not what is January. After this Black Friday season, we will push it to 5K that it is. But it is 5K, 50%. Pay 2.5, and when you pay 2.5, you will get the book. We are in many parts of the country, literally all the parts of the country it can get to you. Okay. However, for those who are a bit distant, shipping costs may apply, but really, some people can pick it in a location in your city. All right, for just 2,500 naira only. Then finally, you will also get discounts. Not discounts, right? You get bonuses. All right. I mentioned that you will get some of my best radio teachings, that is 19,500 naira for just 2.5. So you are getting of close to 25,000 naira by paying 2,500 naira only. What are some of the bonuses you will get? All right, you will get how to convert your passion profit. Okay, all right, you will also get what is it called now? One of my materials on why businesses fail. I've lost 7 digits in businesses before. Why businesses and what you must do. All right, you also learn strategic alliances, building strategic alliances. You will also get, all right, success systems. These 4 materials cost 19,500 naira, but you get them for free by just purchasing this material for 50% discount of 2.5. So go on the screen, what is showing on you on the screen, or simply chat me up on WhatsApp immediately, 070-3457-0310. Thank you.
All right, amazing. So you can see the phone number there, 070-3457-0310. So you can go ahead and send a message or use that link and just get that book. Now, one thing that I've really discovered personally is that it's possible for you to start anything at any point. That's why while I was speaking, I said something that when you wake up is your own morning. So for some of you right now, you can decide that because I was in Winning Mindset in November, and they shared this kind of thing, I'm going to prove it in my own life and see if it is really possible to earn a fee from what I do for free. If you can make that personal decision for yourself, tell yourself that you want to prove it to yourself, go ahead and put an investment of 2.5 right now, buy the book, make it your own, own the process, own the journey, and I really believe it's going to be, I believe it's going to be great for you. For those that want to follow you on social media, or maybe send message online. Now, how can they reach you? So then just get that.
Okay, fantastic. Number one, my WhatsApp is available for free. It's really available for free. That's number one. That's what is on the screen. You reach me directly. Number two, all right, at Niyi Soyinka. All of my social media handles is Niyi Soyinka. All right, Twitter, NIYISOYINKA. If you follow me because you're following Money One Mindset, I'll follow you back immediately. At Niyi Soyinka. Yeah, beautiful. Thank you, guys. Instagram at Niyi Soyinka. Twitter at Niyi Soyinka. All right, Facebook at Niyi Soyinka, right? You can just Niyi Soyinka. Niyi Soyinka is spelled NIYISOYINK. On YouTube, Nii Soyinka. Everywhere. On Anchor, Nii Soyinka. Simply everywhere, Nii Soyinka on fire everywhere. Yeah.
All right, amazing. Thank you so much for this session. The community is
Thank you,
grateful.
Steve.
We're always grateful to have you. It's always good listening to you, and I'm sure more people will go ahead and get that book. It's an amazing piece of resource. Thank you so much for what you're doing for all of us, and God bless you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Fee. Thank you, Fee.
All right. So, for every other person, it's great to really have you as a part of the November edition of the Winning Mindset. It's the last edition for the year. The November edition for the Winning Mindset is the last for the year. We're going to resume in January. You'll get to know if it's going to be online or if it's going to be physical in Kaduna or in any other city. But we are going to be back in January. So this is the last edition for the year. On behalf of the convener, Mr. Elisha Mamman, I would like to thank you all for being a part of today's session. For those of you that have been asking about the replays, just make sure you're a part of the WhatsApp channel. Everything concerning the replays for the month so far, for some of the series we've been having so far, everything about the replays will be shared on the WhatsApp channel. So just be a part of the WhatsApp channel and you get to know about that. But thank you, every single one of you, for being a part of the session today. Follow us on Instagram at eWinning Mindset. Be a part of the channels, be a part of the community, the things that are going to be shared over time. And we hope to keep giving you value. We hope to be a part of your success story. We hope to be a part of the reasons why you decide to make the rest of your life the best of your life. Thank you and enjoy the rest of your day.
Define your identity. You know why it's important to define your identity? Because if you are not careful, once you go into the market with a wrong identity of who you are, anything that you see that seems to make you feel uncomfortable, you want to define yourself based on the image of that person or based on the identity of that person. And that's why it's important to define your own identity. Define your identity with regards to your proposition. What is the functional benefit of doing anything with you?
I wore blue today. Now I know this does not in any way change the price of rice in the market, but let me land now. Blue is the color of love. Okay, I think I'll rephrase that. Blue is my color of love. Maybe because it is my favorite color, my favorite person's favorite color, or the color that represents the place that I call home and the people that I call family. Blue changed my life. Okay, that sounded so dramatic, but really, it did. The vision of one intentional man is now changing the lives of tens of thousands of young people like myself, raising winners and kings in all spheres of life. Keyword, intentional. The results you see in my life today show exactly what will happen when you intentionally harness the power of the mind. This is what Blue represents. My name is Effie Johnson and I am a product of the Winning Mindset. I am also kind of like Papa's favorite child. Alright, I'm just kidding. Or am I? Blue is home. Welcome to the Winning Mindset. Welcome home.
The person who has the database is the one who has the power, okay? The person with the database is the one who has the power, all right? All right, so let's move on now to how to offload people from rented platforms like Facebook and Instagram over to your owned platform, which is your email list and maybe your Telegram and co, okay? There is one thing everybody here needs to master. Guys, get it. Don't be sleeping, yeah? You need to get this. There is one thing that every single king must master on social media: Facebook advertising. Facebook advertising. We talk about this all the time, that a person who is doing business without advertising is like a person who is what? Winking in the dark. You know what you're doing, but nobody else does. You've got to learn to advertise on Facebook. So when you can learn to, and let me tell you the power of Facebook advertising. You can target people with specificity. So you can target people in Lagos between the ages of 19 to 25 who are interested in tailoring or fashion or shoes or bags. You can target based on gender, sometimes even based on the kind of work that they do, sometimes even based on their income level. That is how powerful Facebook is. There's something called the Facebook Blueprint program. I don't know why it hasn't gotten much notoriety, though I've been talking about it for a while, but it's a program that was created by Facebook, all right, to help you learn how to create Facebook ads, and it's totally free. So, I mean, I know that there are other courses out there on Facebook ads which you can buy. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you're just starting, you don't have money to start yet, you can go and enroll for free in the Facebook Blueprint program. Make sure that you always have a notoriety budget. Listen, guys. This principle will separate you from those who have been toiling on the streets of social media for 10 years with slow and steady growth versus a person who just comes to the industry and takes it by storm. And in no distant time, they have grown a large audience, okay? And that is because I always had a notoriety budget, okay? What is a notoriety budget? From whatever your income is every month, okay? So set aside an amount of money, part of your income every single month, that should go into paid advertising for more people to know you. Listen, guys. Kings are territorial, all right? You may have seen my post where I talk about the average African is tribal in nature. Now, people confuse the word tribal with tribalistic. They're not the same thing. They're similar words, but they're not the same thing. Tribalistic is the bad part. Tribalistic is where you discriminate against other people based on their tribe. That's not what I'm saying. I said tribal, okay? Tribal means when you are more engaged with the activities of a tribe without much desire to step outside of the tribe and engage with people of other tribes. They're two different things. Tribal is not, but you're not being bad to other people. Tribal means you're just engrossed with your tribe. Tribalistic is where you are harmful or discriminatory to people of other tribes. So they're two different things. So I said the average African is tribal in nature, but the average European is territorial in nature. I'll say it again. The average African is tribal in nature. We work in groups, people we're familiar with. But the average European is territorial. They go forward, they explore from Europe and all those other countries. They came towards Africa. Ensure that you have the territorial mindset. Don't just be the local champion of your industry. I've always been madly territorial. I want people in Uganda to know me. I want people in Kenya to know me. I want the South Africans to know me. I want the Europeans to know me. I want the Brazilians to know me. I want the Americans to know me. Before I leave the earth, I want everyone to know me. And